Hi, my name is McKenna. I am the receptionist here at Journey Financial. I have been working here for a little over 7 months, and I am originally from South Jordan, Utah. What brought me to Idaho is my husband, who is originally from Sugar City. We are now currently living in Rexburg, and I graduated from Utah Valley University with a bachelor's degree in personal financial planning and an associate's degree in business management. And I am working towards becoming an advisor here at Journey Financial. And I'm excited to talk to you guys today about building a retirement bucket list. This is such a fun topic because it doesn't matter what age or stage of life you're at, or if you've created one, or if you have not even started your bucket list. It's just fun because you can jump in at any point in time. I first wanted to discuss what retirement looks like specifically for you and those around you, whether that looks like for you financially, mentally, spiritually, health wise, or within your relationships. And basically, you want to start looking at what your life is now and see if that's what you want your retirement to look like, especially with your relationships. It's good to be on the same page with your spouse or partner to be able to gauge kind of what retirement looks like for you and what retirement looks like for them. For example, I have a mother and father-in-law who are both retired, and my mother-in-law just wants to sit at home, kind of enjoy reading her book, hanging out with the grandkids, and my father-in-law wants to go on trips, wants to go on hikes. He got so bored he built a chicken coop and he doesn't even have chickens. And so he just likes to do things and she doesn't. They do find a compromise, so it is just good to bring up and see what retirement looks like for both of you together. Then I wanted to briefly go over the stages of retirement. You have the go go, slow go, and no go stages. I like to think of this as an analogy as you're going on a road trip. The go go stage is where you are excited, you're all packed up, you have a full tank of gas, you're ready to go, and that might include those more activities that require more time, more energy, which would be going skydiving or going on an African safari. And those do take a lot of time to plan and get ready for. And then the slow go stage is more of the pit stops or the scenic routes that you may take, which may include you go on cruises, you may start a new hobby, or you start a business that you've always wanted to do, but you're kind of taking it at your own pace. And that's kind of your pit stops for you. And then you have the no go stage, which is where you have reached your final destination. You are ready to just sit there and relax. And those activities may include reading your book that you've always wanted to read, or having family dinner nights, starting a tradition, but it's all within your home and maybe starting a home project. It's something that doesn't require a lot of time. Home projects do. But it's something that doesn't require a lot of energy and going places. So, why even build a retirement bucket list? There's multiple reasons why you would want to build a retirement bucket list. It helps give you direction and purpose. It gives you more of a clear understanding of what you want and what you want to accomplish, and it also prepares that clean slate for you to start your own roadmap. It also turns your dreams into actionable items because who doesn't want to finally achieve what they've always wanted to do, right? And so by turning those dreams into actionable plans, it helps you take a look at what you really want to achieve and be able to jump on it and create that action towards it. And of course, it gives you motivation and excitement. Who isn't excited and motivated to do something that they've always wanted to do, right? And it also provides and creates memories with those that you get to spend that time with, whether you do a themed dinner night or you have a sleepover with the grandkids or you take the whole family on a trip or you even start a family tradition or you fund your grandkids college tuition or help pay for a wedding, things like that. It creates those memories, and not only with you but with everyone else around you, And then it helps you prioritize your goals. It helps you prioritize your goals because it helps you dive deeper into what is actually a dream to you and what you want to achieve. And I actually wanted to dive a little deeper into how to prioritize your goals specifically. And that may look like prioritizing your must do's versus your want to do's. Your must do's are those that you absolutely want to do and want to achieve. And then your want to do's is those that maybe just fill up time or things that you would like to get to, but if you don't get to it, you're not upset if you don't. It helps you break down your goals. So if you're a list person like I am, I like to be able to list the things that I need to get done, or if I'm going through a deep clean in my house, I like to list everything down so that I can visually see it and I can cross things off. Well, that's kind of how prioritizing your bucket list goals help is when you prioritize them, you can be able to break down your goals specifically to label out which ones are more important to you and how you want to go about them. And it creates a passion driven life. It creates that intentionality not intentionality, it creates that intentional living of you wanting to go out and actually do the things that you've always wanted to do and achieve and work towards. And for example, it can create even more knowledge and memories that you even thought of. So, for example, if you are wanting to go on an African safari, you might want to break down the goals of like how much, where should we go, what resources should we look into, is there anyone we know that has gone on an African safari? Maybe there's YouTube videos that we can watch about African safaris, maybe there's museums specifically about African animals. And so, as you break those down, you're able to kind of create a bigger picture for your specific bucket list. And it's good to have a timeline of when you want to do and when you must do, especially if it's something that takes a long time planning, like an African safari compared to skydiving. For example, if I want to go skydiving, I may want to do it in 6 months and it would be a short little trip. It wouldn't be an extensive trip. While an African safari may take a long time to plan, as well as long time maybe to even budget for. Going into that, speaking about costs and plans and planning, it's always good to estimate the cost that you have. So you would like to do a ton of research and as much research as you can. Maybe you want to utilize your research by looking up like a cruise price, and then you can be able to compare it with another cruise line that you would like to see how much they are. You can be able to incorporate a bucket list fund, which is where you specifically set aside a specific amount of money each month or each year to save for your bucket list items. And that way it's kind of fun because you can use that. It's like fun money. You can use it to pull in and pay for your bucket list items. And like I said before, setting a timeline or setting a budget, whether you want to contribute monthly or setting a budget and a timeline of, well, this is how much it costs for us to tour Italy and Rome, Italy. And so with that, we want to be able to set a timeline of when we would be able to go and how much we would need to save and kind of dive deeper into how much you can save each month or how much you would need by then. And then use that's what we're here for. We are here to help you budget and see what would be best for you, whether we strategically help you plan in distributions or help you plan on what it budgeting looks like with your financial situation. And then it's always good to keep in the back of your mind estimating inflation, whether that be gas, material, or technology. If your bucket list is to travel all 50 states, you might want to take in consideration the price of gas is may go up or down depending on inflation. And then material, if you are wanting to do a home project, building material also fluctuates. with the economy and then technology. If you are wanting to get into photography, your camera that you might need for photography might be a little bit more expensive. And to keep in mind with incorporating with financial planning, you want to be able to create an aligned life design. This means you take your personal goals and your financial goals and you get to put them together and you get to be able to see the whole picture. And with that, we can be able to strategically plan how we can be able to incorporate both of those. And that's what we can be able to help with. We can be able to help you strategically go about how to take those distributions, maybe ease into those tax brackets for your distributions to help you pay for your bucket list goals or even your personal goals as well and your financial goals. And we can be able to take a look at the whole picture and help you create that aligned life design. And it's always good to prepare for the unexpected and reevaluate. So, preparing for the unexpected, you never know what can be able to happen. And it's always good to have a little bit of a support or an emergency fund to be able to help you and get back up and be able to reevaluate. And when I think of a bucket list, usually I think of just traveling. However, there's so many different experience of categories that you can be able to incorporate during your retirement. And those are the facets of retirement, which include health, career and business, hobbies, finance, community and charity, home, relationships, education and personal growth, nature, and projects. And I wanted to touch base on a few of these different ones. So in with career and business, maybe you get to your retirement and you don't like not working. So what you can be able to do is you could start your own business. It would help you stay busy. It would keep in connection with those around you. And for example, we actually have some clients who used to be previous tax accountants and now they help people prepare their taxes during the tax season, which is awesome. It benefits both ends, right? And then also finance. I want to touch base on this one because sometimes when you think of finance, you think of your own financials and what that looks like for you in retirement and budgeting and or all of that. And so I wanted to take a look at the other side of finance where you can be able to maybe you want to fund a grandchild's college tuition, or you want to fund or help someone pay for their wedding or their first time or their down payment on a home. And that kind of connects with community and charity. And however, community and charity, maybe you want to start, fund, or participate in a charity event. And I also wanted to discuss a few more relationships, which would be creating those family traditions. There's also this website, if you go to Storyworth Book, and what it is it gives you a prompt weekly, and you answer that prompt, and it creates a little book for you so that you can have that little legacy that you leave behind of little stories or favorite things about you that you can be able to pass on. And that kind of creates your little legacy and also builds the relationships within your own family. And then educational and personal growth. There's actually a program called Friends for Learning. What that is it's a program where you can be able to honestly dive into your hobbies and things that you might be interested in because what they do is they take groups of people and they have a huge calendar of things of like volunteering, hiking, fishing. They do tours of buildings all around. For example, they go on to museums, they go tour the Ronald McDonald House. And so it's just things, it's a cool program to look into Especially, I think you have to be age 50 or older. So you kind of meet those people that are your same age and same stage of life as you. And you can be able to go learn something new. You can go try something new, or you can just do things that you already like and just have fun doing it with a bigger group. And it's always good to get outside, and if you enjoy camping or shooting or fishing, maybe hunting, that includes shed hunting, everything like that. And then you have the projects of your home. Maybe you want to be like my father-in-law and build a chicken coop, even though you don't have chickens. So honestly, it's just up to you, and that's what's so fun with it is you can be able to incorporate anything you want on your bucket list. And then diving into the resources, it's always good to do your research, right? You can visit with an advisor to help strategically plan how you want to take distributions to help pay for your bucket list if it does come out a little bit more expensive than what you budgeted for. Maybe you can look into those discounts and points. I personally love Disneyland, and I know that they do an awesome military discount on those tickets. And so it's just things like that that you can kind of be aware of. Use AI. And an example of AI is ChatGPT. And you can honestly, it's so fun to play around with. You can look anything up, ask it for even more ideas on your bucket list if you have a hard time coming up with things. Or you can also do that with Google and Safari. There's also Facebook groups that you can be able to join where if you specifically love pickleball, you can be able to look up pickleball groups near me and see when they play, what courts they play on, and you can go ahead and join them. And then there's also travel agents. So if you are trying to book a big travel and you're not experienced as well in traveling, what you can be able to do is you can reach out to a travel agent and they will give you the they can try to help you find the best deals. They can try to find you what you are looking for, whether that be I'm okay to stay in cheaper hotels, but I want the food to be over the top and delicious. And so they can be able to find what you are specifically looking for, especially if you haven't been there before. And also, a great resource is family and friends. Not only does this give you advice and opinions on places to go or things to try or hobbies to do, but it also creates those connections with those that are closest to you. And then for those that are local around Idaho Falls area, I specifically listed out a few Idaho Falls local events and places and resources that you can be able to go to. For those of you not local, what you can be able to do is you can find local classes. You can search local classes near and then where you're living. You can follow your city and you can follow and find Facebook pages of events happening near you. But for those that are near Idaho, they have the Idaho Falls magazine where you can be able to find and they have classes that you can be able to look at. They have if you want to try a different dining experience, they have that for you. And then again, they have the Friends for Learning. So Friends for Learning again is that awesome program that gives you all these different opportunities to where you can be able to try new things or go out and do something or even give you your own ideas. And then following your city. So following your city, you can be able to figure out those city events as well as those zoo events. I know specifically in Idaho Falls that they do the zoo puts on concerts or like walks around the zoo with a theme to it. And so it's kind of fun to just keep in touch with your city and what they throw on. And then there's also volunteering. If you're big into giving back, they have those volunteering opportunities that you can be able to jump into. And a Facebook page that lists concerts, craft fairs, farmers markets is the Eastern Idaho events. They also will post about big fairs and especially the one that's in Blackfoot this summer that they let you know about. And it's always good to just kind of keep in touch of things that are around. I know for me that when I drive by the Costco in Idaho Falls, they will have this big poster that says craft fair or farmers market coming up. And so, even paying attention to your surroundings, they will post advertisements of things going on. And before I end, I wanted to give a few key takeaways of this presentation, which are to be strategic on how you plan, how you budget, how you want your life to look like in retirement, and that's how we can be able to help you is we can be able to help you budget, plan, be able to see the whole picture with your personal goals and your financial goals and help you prioritize them. It's always good to prioritize them because that way you can be able to get the things that you really wanted to do and then you can go to those that fill in time, right? And then utilize your resources. There's a ton of resources out there and research that you can do and make a plethora of information that you learn specifically from your bucket list item that maybe you want to get into, or maybe you want to try something new, or maybe you like fishing, but you can take that one step further and research places you haven't been before or incorporate fishes you haven't caught yet. And with that, to be purposeful and intentional, be purposeful and intentional with the way you go about planning it and what you and take a look at what you actually want and reflect on what you would like to achieve and do. And then there is a great idea to do. It's you don't have to do it, but it is keeping a bucket list journal. You can be able to keep a bucket list journal because it can help you break down your bucket list. It can help you prioritize them. Maybe you want to write everything you ever wanted to do, and then you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 of how important it is to you of accomplishing that. And that way you can kind of just sketch it all down. You can be able to visualize it. You can be able to break it down and create your dreams to actionable items. And then I have a quote. It is by an unknown source, but it is retirement is when you stop living at work and start working at living. And this just means that you finally get to live the life that you've always wanted. You're now working at choosing to do what you want to do and have fun and be with the people you want to be with. So it's not too late to start thinking about your retirement bucket list. And I just want to say thank you guys for being here. And if you do have any questions to contact us, we are more than happy to help you with anything that you guys have. So thank you so much.